I was the holy maiden of the beast world, foretold by the high priest. I was also the future beast lady. 3 of the best males were carefully selected to become my mates. However, I knew that they disliked me, even planning to kill me on our wedding night and hand my holy maiden position to my half-sister, whom they truly loved. Thus, when my father asked me to choose one of them to be my chief mate, I knelt on the sacred ground and drew lots, hoping the heavens could help me. Unexpectedly, I drew the clan's high priest. Chapter 1. Looking at the result of the draw, both my father and I were momentarily dazed. Rhea, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? The high priest is clearly not among your future mates. How could you possibly draw him? Hearing my father's words, I was also dumbfounded. I only had 3 candidates in total: Klaus of the White Tiger clan, Orion of the Red Fox clan, and Asher of the Eagle clan. Each clan carefully selected them, and they were called the best of this generation. Only such elites deserved me, the holy maiden, and the future beast lady. My wedding was 3 days away, leaving me too little time to pick a 4th candidate who could match them. Otherwise, I would not have resorted to seeking a solution like this when I knew they detested me and wanted to harm me. I touched the bamboo stick with the high priest's name, Ares, written on it. I felt incredulous as a burst of ecstasy surged from the bottom of my heart. This was the sacred ground. No beast folk could come in except the holy maiden and the beast lord. Moreover, only my father and I knew the news that I would be drawing lots to choose a mate. Perhaps, this was the solution that the heavens had given me. My father said, Rhea, why don't we draw again? The high priest is powerful, but he cannot even switch between beast form and human form freely. Even now, we still do not know what clan he is from. If you marry him, it will only upset all the beast folk. My father was deeply worried, but I held onto the stick tightly and refused to let go. No, father, have you forgotten? It was he who predicted that I would be the holy maiden. All these years, his divination has never been wrong, which proves that he is far more powerful than we imagined. Moreover, it does not matter if we do not know his beast form, and that he cannot switch forms. This just proves that his bloodline is pure. The bloodline of the beast folk is getting increasingly complicated. If I combine with him, I might give birth to offspring with a better bloodline. So, I want to choose him as my mate. The origin of this stick is unknown, which just shows that those 3 candidates are not the ones for me. My voice was loud and firm, and I had a point. Although I was the holy maiden, my beast form was just a weak mystic cat. Mystic cat clan was only chosen as the head of the beast folk because of their strong fertility and high probability of transforming into beast form. My 3 future mates were from powerful clans. If they wanted to seize the position of beast lord, I would not stand a chance. My father had been beast lord for many years, so he understood. He was deep in thought for a long time before finally nodding. Alright, just don't spread the news of the mate change. Wait until your wedding 3 days later. All the beast folk will be there. Even if the 3 clans have any ideas, they cannot change it. We are at fault after all. We failed them. My father looked guilty, but I just wanted to laugh. Klaus and the other 2 enjoyed the benefits of being my future mates, but they fell in love with another beast folk and wanted to kill me. All I had for them was hatred. How could I feel guilty? Chapter 2. My father was right. Word of the mate change could not get out. If Klaus and the others found out, a lot of trouble would probably occur. Having solved a big issue, I was in a much better mood and had a smile on my face when I came out of the sacred ground. Unexpectedly, I ran into the beast folk I least wanted to see when I was in such a good mood. Rhea, why did you go to the sacred ground? Were you there to pray for your marriage? A coquettish voice rang, and I looked up to see my younger sister, Rolla, looking all clueless. I envy you. You are going to marry Klaus and the others soon, Rolla said and began to cry. Before I could react, someone began yelling, Rhea, did you bully Rolla again? As the holy maiden, how could you be so vicious? The person slapped me hard in the face as he cursed. The surrounding white tiger aura proved that it was Klaus, my favorite among the 3. She has always been spoiled. Relying on her status as the holy maiden, she keeps bullying Rolla. She even made Rolla kneel in ice water a few days ago. The thought of an evil beast folk like her marrying us disgusts me. The owner of this voice was Orion. He cautiously held Rolla in his arms as he looked at me indignantly. The next moment, I heard a bird chirping overhead. It was Asher. He barely spoke. Even when the Eagle clan forced him to communicate with me, he just scoffed. Now, he took out a cape as if presenting a treasure and gently covered Rolla with it. I recognized that it was made from the softest feathers of the Eagle clan. Rolla is weak, so it's better to use this. Rhea, we are all here today. We will not hold you accountable for what happened a few days ago. Believe it or not, we will not show up at the wedding ceremony 3 days later if you bully Rolla again. I got back on my feet, touching the scars on my body as I looked at the 4 beast folk. Not long ago, I wove red ropes for them at the sacred ground, praying for the wedding ceremony. I fantasized about governing the beast world with them and building a paradise for everyone to live in peace. I never expected Rolla to suddenly barge onto the sacred ground. She was not the holy maiden. As soon as she stepped in, she was expelled from the sacred ground and thrown into the icy lake at the entrance. When I got the news and rushed out to save her, she had been taken away by Klaus and the other 2. Worried about Rolla, I went to see her with the elixir that even I was reluctant to use. As soon as I arrived at her cave, I saw Klaus scatter the elixirs that I desperately wanted but could never have all over the floor like trash. Orion transformed into his beast form, hugging Rolla in his arms to keep her warm. Asher, who barely said a word to me, was chattering non-stop. I stood there and listened to their conversation like I was under a curse. Don't worry, Rolla. After the wedding, our clans will join forces to start a war and pull her down from the position of holy maiden. Yes, if this doesn't work, we still have a backup plan. Do not worry, we only recognize you as the holy maiden. You are the beast lady. Rhea is just a lowly beast folk who can only survive by relying on us. We'll only feel relieved when she dies. Rolla leaned into Orion's arms. You don't have to do this for me. I know you like Rhea. If only I were half as good as Rhea, I would have the qualifications to compete with her for you. You don't know how sad I felt whenever I think of Rhea marrying you. Rolla cried so pitifully that Klaus and the other 2 were distressed. Chapter 3. Especially Klaus, who knelt right in front of Rolla and swore to the heavens. I, Klaus, swear that I will only love Rolla for the rest of my life. If I break my promise, I will be struck by lightning and die a miserable death. Rolla was shocked. She then shyly kissed Klaus on the face. The remaining 2 beast folk saw this and competed to swear first. A dazzling glow lit up. It was the highest level oath array of the beast folk. Every word spoken would come true, and this was supposed to appear at my wedding ceremony with them. My heart was ripped apart as I left the elixir behind. I was the holy maiden and the future beast lady. I had always been the one to choose others. others. Since they did not love me, why should I degrade myself? My thoughts came flooding back, and I met class's eyes, which were filled with smugness and pride. I forced a smile. They said they would not hold it against me, but they blamed me for Rola's falling into the ice lake and even slandered me just because she said so. Now they even want me to apologize to them. It was completely unreasonable. I raised my head and slapped Klaus hard in the face with even greater force than Klaus did. Rola screamed and ran up to Klaus. Ria, how could you hit Klaus? Klaus, does it hurt? Any other time, Klaus would have been ecstatic with Rola caring so much about him, but Klaus only stared at me without blinking. He was furious, as if I had done something unforgivable. How dare you hit me? Ria, I think you lost your mind. I scoffed and shook my wrist nonchalantly. As an ordinary beast folk, you should be prepared to be beaten if you hit the holy maiden. As my future mate, you defended another female for no reason. Do you think you were beaten unfairly? Confusion flickered in Klaus's face. He did not expect me to refute him. Though I was marrying these three beast folk, there had to be an order. I would make my favorite, my chief mate. Not only would I live with him, but he would also get more attention and resources from me. The title was crucial. Otherwise, I would not have drawn lots to decide who would be the chief mate. Everyone knew that I liked Klaus, and they all assumed that I would choose Klaus. After I slapped Klaus, the remaining two beast folk came over at the same time. Embarrassed, Klaus asked hoarsely, Ria, what do you mean by this? Aren't you afraid that I will not marry you? I sneered. So what? If you do not come, don't I still have the other two? Or are they not marrying me too? Then you deserve a beating even more. A mate is not something you can just be when you feel like it. If you have guts, why not confront me in front of my father? Rola, if I remember correctly, father has also chosen a mate for you. Yet you are all cozy with my future mates now. Do you not like the beast folk that father chose for you? If you do not like him, I will give Klaus and the other two to you. Klaus's face was already red before Rola responded. After being chosen as my future mates, Klaus and the other two were respected by the beast folk wherever they went. Even their clans kept recommending them to be the leader, especially Klaus. Everyone knew I loved Klaus very much. Klaus was seriously injured while he was out and needed the snow lotus from Mount Heavenly. I transformed into my beast form and crawled through the snow for 3 days and 3 nights before I brought the snow lotus back to save his life. I even almost died because of this.